Welcome to the Advancing Excellence podcast. In this episode, we explore how LinkedIn has evolved beyond just a networking tool for professionals. Once driven by timing, the platform now prioritizes knowledge-based content, making it a powerful space for thought leadership and engagement. Join me as we dive in.
Welcome back to Advancing Excellence, the podcast where we explore strategies and insights to help professionals and businesses thrive. I'm your host today, Vicki Sakaris, account manager here at AOE. Today, we're turning the tables on our regular host, Janice Kleins, AOE's marketing manager, and interviewing her. We will be talking about a platform that has probably become a staple in your professional life, LinkedIn, and how it's evolved over the years. So, Janice, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Vicki. It's great to be here and on the opposite end. LinkedIn has become such an essential tool for so many of us. So I'm really excited to dig into this shift we're seeing on the platform.
Awesome. Now, I know we get a lot of questions from clients like, what's the best time to post on LinkedIn? Or how do we beat the algorithm? But based on what I've seen and what I know you're going to talk about, the rules of the game have changed quite a bit.
Oh, absolutely. It used to be all about timing, right? People would stress so much over figuring out the perfect posting schedule to maximize visibility. But LinkedIn has really transitioned over the past few years. Now it's much less about when you post and much more about what you post. The platform is prioritizing knowledge-based content that's insightful, valuable, and sparks genuine conversations.
Well, that makes so much sense. I mean, as professionals, we're on LinkedIn to learn, connect, and grow, not just to mindlessly scroll through a bunch of posts, right?
Exactly. Professionals want substance. LinkedIn isn't just a networking site anymore. It's becoming a place to share ideas, establish credibility, and really showcase expertise. That's why posts that are packed with knowledge and real value tend to outperform surface level or clickbait type content. And for everyone listening, if you're freaking out right now because this sounds like more work than just scheduling posts, don't panic. We'll get into strategies to make this shift work for you.
Got it. Janice, walk us through this rise of knowledge-based content. What exactly is happening on LinkedIn these days?
Sure. So historically, LinkedIn's algorithm rewarded content that got quick engagement, which is why timing was so crucial. But now the algorithm has evolved to prioritize depth over quick clicks. When you see posts that offer thoughtful insights, practical advice, or even really engaging questions, these tend to get more traction, not just immediately, but over time.
Right. It's quality over quantity.
Exactly. A well-crafted, knowledge-based post can stay relevant for days or even weeks. Plus, this shift reflects broader trends in content marketing. People are tired of generic posts. They want depth, and that's what LinkedIn is encouraging through its updates.
Speaking of updates, I know LinkedIn has rolled out a lot of new features to support this focus on knowledge sharing. Can you give us some examples?
Absolutely. The platform has added tools like LinkedIn Articles, which allows users to write in-depth long-form content. These are perfect for sharing research, personal insights, or detailed analysis. Then there's the newsletter feature, where professionals can regularly share curated ideas with their followers. It's like running your own mini publication. AOE has a newsletter called AOE Insights. We cross post our monthly newsletter, making it available to those who are not on our mailing list. We also post special editions on this platform as well.
I love the newsletter feature. I actually subscribe to a few, and they're always packed with valuable takeaways.
I mean, it's just so useful, right? On top of
Mhm.
that, LinkedIn now supports videos and live streams, which are great for engaging storytelling or tutorials. They even have these collaborative articles. They pull together community contributions. They emphasize a real breadth and depth of knowledge.
Okay, this is all great, but I think listeners might be wondering, what's the best way to create this kind of knowledge-based content? Do you have a framework or tips?
Absolutely. Here are 4 strategies that can help anyone, whether you're a seasoned LinkedIn contributor or just starting out. First, focus on your expertise. Share authentic insights from your own experiences rather than trying to cover over trending topics. People resonate with real stories and actionable advice. Second, engage with current trends. Pay attention to what's happening in your industry and tailor your content to address these topics. It keeps you relevant. Third, back your content with data and examples, whether it's stats, case studies, or even personal anecdotes. It adds credibility and makes your content way more engaging. And finally, don't just post and walk away. Ask questions, invite feedback, and spark conversations. Interaction is key to building relationships on LinkedIn.
Those tips are great, Janice. And I love that they're doable. You don't need to be a professional writer or a marketing expert. You just need to focus on genuine value and connection.
Exactly. At the end of the day, people want to feel like they're part of a meaningful professional conversation.
Okay, one last question before we wrap up. Does timing still matter, or are we totally throwing out the clock?
Timing isn't completely irrelevant. Posts made during peak professional hours, like early mornings or midweek, still tend to perform better initially. But the good news is, even if you don't hit the optimal time, it's not the end of the world. With LinkedIn's focus on sustained engagement, a standout post can keep showing up in feeds long after it's published.
Well, that's a relief for all of us juggling a million things during a day.
I know. The key takeaway here is this shift is actually freeing for professionals. Instead of obsessing over the clock, you can focus on creating thoughtful, impactful content that your audience values. And that's way more rewarding in the long run.
I couldn't agree more, Janice. Thank you so much for sharing these insights. I think this topic will really resonate with our listeners and help them rethink their LinkedIn strategy.
It's been a pleasure, Vicki. Thanks for having me on the podcast today.
Well, thanks for letting me interview you. To our listeners, if you're ready to take your content strategy to the next level, don't hesitate to reach out to us at AOE. Remember, on LinkedIn, it's not just about when you post, it's about what you bring to the conversation. Thanks for tuning in into Advancing Excellence. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Until next time, keep creating, connecting, and advancing excellence.
Thank you so much for joining us. We hope this session provides value, and we hope you will join us for our next podcast.